Hello and welcome to this video where we'll show you how you set up a one-to-many relationship in Entity Framework. So the reason I have this article open, it's actually a project I just created and it's actually just a blog. So this is a blog post, and if we scroll down we have some comments that the user can create on this post. And the reason I show you this is because a comment has a one-to-many relationship with the post, and it actually do have the same with the user that is also logged in and have created the comment. So to see this a little bit better, we can go to the SQL Server Management Studio, and I have this comment table where all the comments that is created on the website or in the blog is being added to. So if we take the first row here, we have the ID, of course, of the comment that is created. Then we have a post ID which have a foreign key to the actual post. Then we have the blog user ID. So this is also a foreign key to the user that created the comment. And then we just have the comment and the time that it was created. So in this example, we have a one-to-many relationship to the post because a post can have a lot of comments, but the comment can only be on one post. And it's the same for the blog user. The blog user can create many comments, but a comment can only be created by one blog user. So if we just right click the comments, we can see the design. And then if we go and right click, we can see the relationships in the database. And you can see we have two foreign keys here, and they are actually created by Entity Framework. So if we go to Visual Studio, you can see in here we have a comment model. And when we have a one-to-many relationship in Entity Framework, it's important that we have the blog user ID in this case and the post ID. And then it's also important that we have a property that can actually hold the blog user and also hold the post. This is actually all we need inside the comment model. But if we go to a post model, you can then see we have to do it a little bit different, because the only thing we have to relate to the comments is to create a I collection that take the comment model, and then we will just call this for comments, because then when create a new instance of a post, then we are actually able to get all the comments inside this variable. And it's the same with the blog user. In this case, it's a little bit different because as you see, we only have the comments in here, but that's because this extends from identity. You don't have to understand this, but the blog user have a lot of properties that comes from this identity user, so that's why it's not in here. But if we want to add some extra, like the comments, then we can do it like this, just like we did with the post. And the final thing we have to do is to go to our app.db context. It might call something else in your project, but it's just extend from the DB context. And then the thing we want to do is inside our on model creating. So you can see we are inside our app.db context. And again, because I use identity, it's from identity DB context. If you're not using identity, it's might just be DB context that you're using. No matter what, we're going to inside our on model creating use the builder. It might be called something else also, because this is just a variable. We just need to make sure that it's from the model builder. And then when we scroll a bit down, I have this code where in the builder we say that we want to target the entity called comment. Then we want to say has one. And in this case, it was the blog user, because a comment can only have one blog user. And the blog user, then we say with many comments. So as you also can see here, it's actually a one-to-many relationship. And then we want to add a foreign key, and we actually want to set the foreign key on the blog user ID. So that's why both the blog user is very important to have in the comments model, and also the blog user ID, because that's where we set the foreign key so that we actually get the relationship inside the database. And in this case, I also said is required, because a comment need to have someone who wrote it. It might not be necessary in your case, but in my case, it makes no sense that a comment could be written by no one. And then I actually just do the same with the post. We target the entity, say that it has one post, so that a comment model or just a comment can only be in one post. Then we have the, again, with many comments. And in this case, we set the foreign key to the post ID. And again, I said it is required because it makes no sense if a comment don't have a post that it's related to. So when you have done that, if we just close this, then you can go to the package manager console, and you should now be able to just add a migration. So, like say add migration, then the name of the migration you want to add. It could be add one-to-many relationships. Anyway, it should just be a name that makes sense for your project. Then you want to hit enter and you get your migration file, and then you just say update database. So just like this, update database. I will not execute them now because I already set this up, but the next thing I want to show you is how you then retrieve the information from the database. So you do it and you also get the one-to-many relationship, and that's actually inside my post.razor file here. So quickly, just to show you what I have, you don't have to be confused about all this, you don't have to worry about it, but the thing we have is actually just a container here with a row inside, so that's going down all the way here, and inside this row I have a class called column9, and it's just a bootstrap class just like the row and container, but it's also all the code to this point. And then I have the article image, I have a headline, I have a introduction text, I also have the whole article, so the body text, then I create a line here, then I have the part where you actually put in the comment, and the one we are most interested in is actually this part where we display the comments. So as you can see up here, when we display the title on the page, I have this post object where we are going to target the title. And if we just go inside our post model, you can see in here I have an ID, a title, introduction, body text, image, and then we have all the comments. But if we just go back, you can see then we display the title just like this, and when we scroll down here and see how we display the comments, then it's actually just to for each the post object where we say comments, because in here we have all the comments for the specific post. And inside here we have the blog user, and can then just say that the username should be displayed. But as you might notice, when we have a post inside our post, we don't actually have the blog user in here because the blog user is only inside our comment. So if we only go and include the comments when we fetch the post, then you will get this comment model, but you will actually not get the blog user with us. That will just be null. So if we go back here to where we loop through the comments, you can see we have a comment, and inside the comment we could say blog user. But if you only include the comments inside the post, then you will not be able to do this. But I will show you down here in the code how we retrieve all this information. So what I've done is actually I just created this get post method where we use our context on the post table, and in this case we want to have a specific post, so we just say where the ID is ID. That's just how this page is created, so we can get the post ID by just saying ID. But if we just did that and set first or default, then we would not get the comments and we would not get the blog user. So what we have to do is just to say include, and then we want to use the lambda expression to actually go and fetch the comments also. And if you have a nested one-to-many relationship also inside this comments, then you have to say then include and then the blog user also. So if we just deleted this and we were only doing this, then we will actually get a problem up here because our blog user is not included anymore inside the comments. So we need to say then include. So I hope this makes sense and that you can use it for your own project. I do also have a many-to-many relationship videos you can see up in the card right now. But from here on, I just want to say good luck with your project and have a nice day. Bye.